Brand new best of 3 for the WCS Europe qualifiers. In the bottom left corner of the map, we of course have the pink Protoss player, Bouli.
In the top right, we have the blue Zerg player, Stephano.
Alright, I don't know a lot about Bouli. All I know is that he did take down Mini Razor in the round previous to this, so his PvZ's gotta be looking pretty good right now. That being said, Stephano's EVP is looking freaking amazing. I really don't know. I wish we knew what he lost to in Game 1 versus Snovsky. Like, just, again, the fact that he was down in the series, I was like, I joined that game thinking, it's classic retired Stephano. He just came to grew around, didn't do too well, but he took that game by storm. He took Game 2 by storm. He dominated Game 3. And if Bouli shows any weakness, I'm sure Stephano will be the first one to exploit it.
Of course, the question always is, how did Bouli defeat the last Zerg player he was up against? We have no idea. But we'll get a taste, I think, in this first game, whether it's macro or going ahead and, well, cheesing. The back rocks, as much as we'd like them to be used, they seem to be used more on ladder to be jerks than professional play, although sometimes it is.
It's funny to phrase it like that, but yeah, that's kind of a good summary. It's worth noting, by the way, the winner of this series goes on to fight against Marine Lord. Now, again, we are 2 best of 3s away from the qualifying round. So this best of 3 and the next best of 3 leads into the qualifying best of 3. If you're looking at the brackets, guys, consider the quarterfinals the grand finals, because the players only have to get to the semifinals to qualify, as the top 4 players from Europe that get through this qualifier. Oh, you know what? Top half of the bracket looks really sexy. It could possibly be Nurchio versus Hearthstone.
Yeah, there's this is the point, I guess, where we get a lot of the sexy players left over, right? So Nurchio versus Johnny Rico. Yeah, I think it's gonna go to Nurchio. So it's Hearthstone versus Night End. Night End can be surprising in both bad ways and good ways.
Yeah, I would agree with that statement. I would agree with that statement. It's a weird way to phrase it, but I 100% agree.
Yeah. The Muslim low bow, an awesome match that we would love to have gotten, just didn't time out well. Let's see, Red's still in the runnings too, might be facing Namshar soon enough. And it's just a lot of cool people left over.
Yeah, Liquid Red would love to see go back in there. We'd love to see our friend Namshar also make a name for himself. But I'll leave it to you guys to check out the brackets as this game gets underway. We'll talk more about them later. But the first couple links coming across the map for Stephano, this was something we saw. Same thing versus Snovsky. He sends out 4, gets a little bit of scouting information, causes some damage, and maybe puts on the hurt. But realistically, these should never get out of hand and do too much. Yeah. Unless you're like 6 pooling or 10 pooling.
Right, yeah. I mean, Bouli did the safest build you can really do, so he's going to have a Stalker, a Mothership Core. Yeah, this isn't this probe yet.
Going back to that booty song, it's like bully, 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 bully everywhere, bully everywhere.
I just keep imagining someone like Ron Swanson saying bully.
Gotta have that gruff mustache too. And it's like, Alright, so Stephano actually doesn't net any kills this time around with the Lings. Gotta get Scout. Saw how late the Nexus came down. I think one of the other things too is, well, he doesn't know how far along the Cybercore research is. He also didn't see any chrono boost going into that when he was in the base. And that's, I think, one of the biggest things you're looking for with that early scout, too. Is your opponent rushing out that warp tech? You might not see the 4 gates, but if you see like 3 chronos go to a Cybercore, you know where that's going.
Stephano getting 6 more Lings could just be the roam around the map, but there we go.
Well, then he goes back to droning, though, so this might actually just be map control. Or he could try and take advantage of the fact that the natural comes down so late. Either way, I mean, it's not a huge dedication because he did immediately throw down more drones afterwards.
Yeah. I was wondering too. I was like, oh, he's getting the Overlord. What's going to be the rest of the supply? Maybe a little disappointed just because Lings are cool, right? But I guess this is the safer way to play. Still a bit of a dedication that you otherwise would not want. It would be the option of either being aggressive or droning as much as possible. And Stephano's going to go middle of the road here. Does skip the probe. One Ling on the outside could go and try and scout. No. Okay. Oh, but we have an Immortal on the way. Immortal Sentry all in, possibly? This can abuse the back rocks. Just the option of having a different avenue of attack could be threatening to a Zerg player. Have to wait for more gateways to go down before calling that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that'll come into effect or not. Stephano is putting a little pressure towards the wall. He's not obviously revealed any of this just yet. I mean, to blindly go for a couple of immortals is one thing, but the fact that he's chronoing them out is a whole nother can of worms. The thing I don't particularly love about this idea, though, is it's not the immortals that makes Immortal Sentry so strong, it's the sentry part. So he is a little bit light on the sentries. He's not put a lot of gateways down just yet. Oh, there we go. Now it's coming in.
Right. I mean, there's no gases at the natural, which I think Stephano at this point, is looking around the clock and he's saying Gazer third. No. Is there gases at the natural? Well, I only barely see one, and that's a negative on that one too. So I think he's gonna get a little suspicious soon enough. He's up to 51 drones, which maybe you could get like 4 more and be pretty perfect, or you could just immediately go into roach production. Gonna get speed. If the speed finish is gonna really be helpful. If you get burrow, that might also be helpful. Some Immortal Sentry pushers, Protoss, the players don't remember to bring an observer, or just don't fit it into their build. They want to have the crisp timing with a War Prism and 2 Immortals.
Well, that attack is going to come, and he's putting some chronos into the warp gates. He's got a Warp Prism out here, too. Now, I like this Warp Prism a lot. Not only do you not have to worry about getting a pylon down, you can also use this to kind of shuffle your way towards the main, and if you do get up there, oh, Warpings can be so gross, especially with 4 sentries. So he already has like a secondary attack lined up for him just through this Warp Prism alone, should he not want to just go, straight for the face.
Now, I don't know... But Stephano is a little bit supply block. Kind of sucks for him, but looks like it's going to be over here in just a second. I'm not sure if Bouli can really think he can bust this. He's going to go in. He's going to see a concave of roaches. The ones in the main might be force-footed out. In fact, no, those are the ones that are not force-footed out.
Picks off those sentries immediately. Picks up one of the Immortals, and that's kind of cool now, but it's not the Immortals that were really under attack. Stephano dived that to get rid of the force fields, and again, going back for Bouli, this is a really aggressive move. It's a really dangerous move, and Stephano's not safe just yet, but he is on 51 drones, and his opponent has no force fields.
Yeah, that is the biggest. It's the biggest thing about Immortal Sentry. I mean, the Immortals can be powerful, but the Sentries, where it's actually going to keep those roaches from just moving on top of the Immortals. Like so.
Yeah, it gets focused down. It's a little too far away. Of course, that 6-range pickup's not here yet. It's not Legacy to the Void, but some pretty quick pickups. Regardless, he starts cutting away for the Zealots. There's still, like, what, 1-2 sentries in this? It's not that much, and what gets warped in gets picked off pretty much right away. Focusing on that Warp Prism, or the Immortal away for the Warp Prism. No pick up this time. Now it's just Zealots, and he can kite this all day on creep. Stephano has easily defended this attack.
It's an attack like that. I always wonder, like, what is he really thinking of doing it? I would say that if you could scare them into thinking about the back rocks, then that's different. But that wasn't that scary of a push. It went right into where Stephano was waiting. It just did not seem like a good push.
I feel like for Bouli, there was too much emphasis